The wrong playground surface can ground a school or park project before it even opens. Specify a material that fails to meet critical fall height requirements, and you are looking at a failed safety inspection, potential closure, and the cost of ripping everything out and starting again. That is not a hypothetical. It happens every year, and almost always because the decision was made based on price alone or on the recommendation of a supplier who only stocked one product. Choosing between wet-pour rubber, rubber mulch, and artificial grass is not simply a matter of preference. Each surface has a distinct safety profile, a different maintenance burden, a different lifespan, and a different suitability for the age groups and equipment types it is placed under. Getting that match right is what playground surfacing is actually about. Critical fall height compliance sits at the center of every playground surface decision. Under EN 1176 and N 1177, the surface beneath any piece of equipment must absorb impact from the maximum fall height of that equipment. A 2-meter climbing frame requires a surface certified to that height. Wet-pour rubber surfacing achieves this through its layered construction, a base course of larger rubber crumb bonded together, topped with a wearing course of finer rubber and pigment. The depth of those layers is engineered precisely to the equipment on site. Rubber mulch, which is loose-fill shredded rubber, achieves the same compliance through depth of material, but that depth shifts over time as children play. Artificial grass, meanwhile, is typically used where fall heights are lower, because its compliance depends on the combination of the pile height, the infill material, and the underlay, and those figures are harder to certify for taller structures. Lifespan and cost vary just as significantly. A wet-pour installation, properly specified and laid, typically lasts 15 to 25 years with minimal intervention. Rubber mulch needs topping up regularly and raking to redistribute material that migrates. Artificial grass sits somewhere between the two, durable enough for heavy use, but dependent on infill management and periodic deep cleaning to maintain both performance and hygiene standards. So who actually faces this decision? A primary school head teacher who has just had a new EYFS outdoor area funded through a capital grant. A nursery manager who needs to replace aging bark chips under a timber climbing frame and has been told bark no longer meets current safety standards. A Parks Department officer who is procuring a neighborhood play area and needs to satisfy both a safety audit and a budget committee in the same proposal. These are the people who have the money allocated but not yet committed to a specification. The wrong advice at this stage costs more than the surface itself. It costs the delay, the retendering, and in some cases, the loss of funding if deadlines are missed. The triggers are varied but recognizable. A school contacts a playground surfacing specialist after a routine safety inspection flags that the existing surface is no longer compliant. A Parks Department officer is building a new play area from scratch and needs a surface that can handle wheelchair access as well as standard play equipment, which immediately changes the shortlist. A nursery has a shaded north-facing corner where artificial grass or wet-pour surfacing might retain moisture differently from an open site. A primary school wants a surface that doubles as a marked play zone, which wet-pour installation can deliver through colored designs built directly into the wearing course. Each scenario calls for a different answer, and none of those answers is universal. Soft Surfaces has been installing playground and sports surfaces since 1997. That breadth of experience across wet pore surfacing, rubber mulch, artificial grass, and 3G pitch construction is what makes the advice from Soft Surfaces structurally different from a company that manufactures or distributes only one product type. Soft Surfaces installs all three surface types and covers the whole of England, from Yorkshire and Greater Manchester through the Midlands to London and the South. When a Soft Surfaces surveyor visits a site, the recommendation is not driven by stock availability or margin. It is driven by what the actual ground conditions, equipment layout, budget envelope, and user profile require. That free site visit is where the real specification work happens. Soft Surfaces looks at drainage, substrate condition, fall zones, access needs, and equipment height before anything is priced. The result is a proposal that reflects the actual site, not a standard package. Soft Surfaces also operates across the broader sport and play sector, meaning the technical knowledge that comes from 3G pitch construction and commercial sports surface projects feeds directly back into playground surfacing decisions. Material performance under sustained foot traffic is not a theoretical conversation for Soft Surfaces. It is something they measure from completed projects. What changes for the head teacher, the nursery manager, or the parks officer who brings Soft Surfaces in at specification stage? They get a surface recommendation that will pass a safety audit on day one. They avoid the procurement risk of specifying the wrong material for the equipment on site. They receive a clear breakdown of what each option costs over its realistic lifespan, not just at installation. And they work with a team that has installed surfaces across Barnsley, Bristol, Leeds, London, Sheffield, Birmingham, and dozens of other locations, so the lead time, the installation process, and the aftercare are all known quantities. Reach Soft Surfaces on 01625 44460 at info@softsurfaces.co.uk or explore the full range of playground and sport surfacing services at www.softsurfaces.co.uk. The specification decision gets easier when the company giving the advice has no reason to favor one answer over another.